At Waldorf, you're not an art kid or smart kid or an athletic kid. You're just a kid, and you can be everything at the same time, and the teachers recognize you as a whole person with lots and lots of different areas of interest.
Waldorf education in general is very holistic, and I really felt like it consumed every aspect of my life in a really good way. I think that it wasn't just about a classroom experience, but for me, the friends that I had at Waldorf were the people who I still feel the closest to, a lot of them. And it kind of being part of the Waldorf community and going to the events outside of the classroom, and then even within the learning, things like field trips and the connections between each different subject, having one teacher teach you more than just math or English. I think that it really felt like my entire life for those 12 years that I was there was touched by Waldorf in some way.
I always get the stereotype, they call it like an art school, but it's not that at all. Like, you could be great at art or bad at art in any form, but like the whole educating the whole child and the one-on-one relationship with the teachers just helps any type of student, really be successful.
When I went to high school, it seemed like everything was broken down into specific parts and like separated, and I think having the Waldorf perspective gave me the ability to like see the whole picture and see lots of connections across categories and disciplines and stuff like that that a lot of people like weren't sort of trained to see.
I mean, my teacher that I had at Waldorf, we had a very strong connection. I had 6 years with a teacher, which I'll never be able to have with a teacher at public school. And that communication that I had with that one teacher kind of taught me to try to get that communication with other teachers and fellow students.
Waldorf is probably the most children-friendly school in the entire city because they have a way with kids that really, influences them to be better people. They let the kids be kids.
Waldorf has taught me to spread out my time, like one day for each thing, do a little bit up into that with their essays and projects, and it's really helped me a lot in Walnut with the studying and the work, and I'm really thankful that Waldorf taught me that. I'm really a history geek, and I really like it, and Waldorf was that was my place, because they really go into detail about history and all that stuff, and I'm really enjoying my history class because, I already know the content, but I'm knowing more, and my teacher likes that about me, so I'm happy.
Doing the plays at Waldorf, and every grade does a class play, and I can't imagine not being good at public speaking for that reason. I was really quiet in first and second grade, and I remember my second grade teacher giving me permission to shout in the classroom because I wasn't speaking loud enough and he couldn't hear me and he wanted me to be louder. And then I was given a lead role in second grade in one of our class plays, and I think that was a lot of pressure and was very difficult, but then it was definitely what I needed, and I think he knew that as my teacher. And from that time on, I don't think I've had a problem with public speaking, and I think a lot of that comes from his ability to see that I had the potential maybe to be a good public speaker, and that I really needed the push, rather than just sort of assuming that I was quiet because that's all I was capable of.
Yeah, I would definitely say the way we were taught math and science definitely helped. I think that it was much more of of learning the process of it and figuring through it rather than memorization, and I think that helped me a lot in all aspects of high school. But I'm definitely a more linear thinker, and I naturally gravitate towards like sciences and math. But I enjoy art a lot, and I think that industrial design was a good choice because it's a good mix of those two, and I don't think I would have ever even considered that had I not gone to Waldorf.
The physical, whether it was woodworking or knitting or going for walks in the woods, when we're doing those things, your brain is so stimulated and making so many connections compared to sitting in a chair like, listening to someone describe woodworking or the woods.
I think that is really cool, just to be able to kind of use your hands to create something and kind of go back to creating stuff with our hands and not have it be all about technology is really cool as well.
I definitely believe that the way that all the different parts come together incorporates the special subjects into the core curriculum so that you don't just take an art class, but you use that art in geography when you're drawing maps. You don't just take woodworking, you use your hand skills to build shelters when you're learning about different cultures of Native Americans.
It's totally different. The main lesson books is a perfect example because I remember doing that. I specifically remember like a map of the USA that we were all drawing, and I spent like so many hours making this map because I wanted it to be as good as possible. And there was no grade attached to it. Like there was no external motive for spending more time like drawing these lines or shading it. But that's just one example. That was true like about all the main lesson books and a lot of other work about just wanting to make it the best that I could do because I wanted to do that for myself, I guess, and prove to myself that what my ability was.
So many, like putting so much detail into one thing and spending so much time creating a beautiful piece of work, I think definitely helped me to, when I went on to high school, to value focusing on those smaller things and the detail and the beauty and work, and not just getting the homework assignment done, but spending time to make it a beautiful piece of work, just like I had done with my main lesson books. The core values that Waldorf taught me to be a strong individual, to be really excited about learning, to be open to different ideas, to think outside the box and not be narrow-minded, to really like explore all options. So I've definitely taken that on throughout my education, and I think it's definitely a part of my experience at Waldorf.
I definitely attribute my open-mindedness to Waldorf and being able to think of things from different points and different points of view. The way Waldorf presents education makes it enjoyable to a point where I look forward to classes and I'm excited to learn new things, and I just want to know more.
It's not like any other school. It's so creative and open to new ideas, and it's just a great experience overall. I would go back in a heartbeat if I could. I really would.
I talk about it a lot more than other people talk about their grade schools. And I have lots of friends who are like, wow, I wish I'd gone there.